Alright friends, welcome to the 8th video of this tutorials series. We're talking about fonts. Okay, let's get right into it. I'm just going to create a file for that. Call it fonts.html, and then cancel from this server, and then re-enter it again. And here we have having a blank plain sheet for it. Shift exclamation mark enter to get this. So let's just say h1 hello fonts. So what is font? By default we can this is what we have. Why is this not coming up? All right, this is what we have. Every system has its own specific fonts. There are fonts, system fonts we can also install if we want to, but we can change the typeface of this font or increase the text of this. How do we do all this together? For instance, we can say h1 and set the size. We can say font size. We can say large, which is that we have on. You can see it is large, but not as large as the normal h1. If we take it out, and then we see normal h1 is larger than that one. So we can set the size, let's say 200 pixels. You can see the size of that, of 200 pixels, very big. We can make it 20, and then you can see. So this, we can use the font size property to set the size of the text. It can be one rem, one rem, and that is one rem. Can be 1.5 rem, and that is it on the page. So it can be any form of can be 70 pixels, and then we see that on the page as well. So we use the font size property to set the size of the text. Then what about the typeface of the text? How does this the the fonts look like? We can use the property called font family. Font family. So font family will tell you what type of, like just like your handwriting, everybody has different type of handwriting. So what type of handwriting do you want to use? So we can use sans serif, and you see how it changes. You see the typeface changes. We can use sans serif. We can use Arial, just Arial, and you see how it changes. So font family will help you set the typeface of your text. And also, for instance, let's say a p element and say uh, paragraph. By default, p elements are not bold. What about if we want to make it bold? We can say font weight, which is the weight of the font. How bold do we want it to be? We can say just bold, and then you see it get bold. Or can specify the quality of boldness or the number of boldness we want it to have. We can say 500 bold. We can say 600. You can see that it's changing. We can say 700 or 7,000 or 700. You can see that it's changing, but we only have for 100 to 1,000. There's nothing like 7,000. So that is how this one works. And also we can make it italic. I say font style italic. We can make it italic. If we use For instance, italic, an italic element. This is an italic element by default. What can we do here? We can say I font style normal, and then uh sorry, I say font size. I was supposed to say font style. So font style normal, you can see that the italic element has become normal. So by default, this we can many elements are normal. Why so? Like this, for this italic, it is italic. We also have for emphasize, which is emphasize. This too is kind of slanty. You can see it is slanty, and we can also make it normal. So this is how you can manipulate your fonts or your fonts by setting the style of your fonts, or the giving it a weight, and also the size, and then the typeface, which is the font family, this typeface of your fonts, how it should look like. All right. All right then, my friends. See you in the next class. Thank you.